Welcome back to the 2 Point Show, where we give you the latest sports rundown. We are your hosts, Gideon and Joey, breaking down stories, giving hot takes, and interviewing athletes around the world. From buzzer beaters to bold predictions, we will give you fresh analysis, real opinions, and some fun arguments along the way. So whether you're tuning in on your drive, in the gym, or simply on your couch, get ready for a good one. This is the 2 Point Show.
Man, Gideon, what an episode we have today. We're talking only about the game on Friday, and we're talking about Michigan and Michigan State. I had to put on the jersey for today, man. I don't know. I was feeling a little special. So we're talking about the game, obviously, Michigan and Michigan State. It's going to be one of the greatest games. I think, personally, it's game of the year. I mean, it's going to be incredible. Breslin's going to be bumping. I mean, you name it. This is going to be an incredible game.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the premier rivalries in college basketball and even college sports, you know, and you always see Breslin hopping, and I think just the energy between both fan bases, it always seems like it's a bigger game at Breslin, not just because of the crowd, you know, the atmosphere. So
right,
the stage is set, quote Joey Klott.
Stage is set. Yeah, chill, man. I was on my little Woodward page there. Nothing special there. But yeah, welcome back. We're here for another episode of the 2 Point Show. I got it right here. Gideon's got it on his hat. We have merch. DM us if you want some merch. But yeah, we're talking all Michigan State today. We're going to recap the two games last night. We talked about Nebraska, Michigan, and we're going to talk about Michigan State and Rutgers, and then we're obviously just going to tie it all together and talk about Friday. But first, here's a quick word from our brand new sponsor.
Thinking about buying a home or refinancing your current mortgage? Call Scott Falconer. For 26 years, he's helped people turn home ownership into a stress-free experience. Scott offers conventional, FHA, VA, and first-time options with down payment assistance. Purchase or refinancing also available. His process is affordable, fast, and hassle-free. This also comes with confidential pre-approvals and mortgage consultations. Reach out to Scott today at homeloanbyscott@yahoo.com or call today at 586-243-2555. Again, that's 586-243-2555. And let's get you home. Now back to the show.
All right, so what do you want to do? You want to dive into the Michigan part of this? You want to dive into the Michigan State?
Yeah, we'll go Michigan. I think that's kind of the game of the night around college basketball. So, what are your thoughts on it?
So, I don't even want to start with the game. I'm just going to start, or I don't even want to start with Michigan, like, at all. I want to start with the game. Just a top 5 matchup cannot be on Peacock ever again.
Yeah.
What the hell are we doing, NCAA?
Yeah.
Big Ten, what are we doing?
Especially when they have Nick Stauskas as the color guy.
Oh my God, it was awful.
He was a little biased toward the Wolverines, but
yeah,
I thought the game delivered.
It was a great game. I mean, Nebraska was up the whole way, and then Michigan, the comeback kid, they came back and they got it done. It was a really good game.
Yeah, and you saw Nebraska. I mean, they're probably the best 3-point shooting team in the Big Ten, and that showed in the first half. I mean, they had, I think, two guys. I think it was Sanford and Lawrence. I think they both had combined 7 threes in the first half.
Correct.
And they're just chucking it up, and that's how you beat Michigan. If you can outshoot them, you're going to beat them, because you saw they took out Mara out of the paint, which opened a lot up. Inside-out basketball. I think it's the best basketball to watch, but because there's so much going on. But yeah, I thought the game delivered. Michigan, Trey McKinney, big-time shot at the end. Wolverines prevail.
Sure. Yeah, man. I mean, Michigan, they looked really good. Shout out to them. They had a great win, and Nebraska's no longer undefeated, man. They were a little, I'd like to say, a Cinderella. I don't know where they're going to end up in the rankings. I don't know what this is going to do to maybe put them in the seeding of March Madness. Do you still see them as a top 4 team in the Big Ten when it comes tournament time?
You know, I mean, with Purdue losing to Indiana last night.
That was crazy.
I think, I think I'd still put them. I think Illinois is starting to click, which is scary, because I think if they click, they can beat anyone in the country.
Yeah.
And yeah, you got Michigan up there. I think you still got Sparty up there. Even I mean, they won. You don't complain about road games. So they won. And then I think Nebraska is probably still up there. I mean, Nebraska beat Michigan State. So you always have to look at that and say that to yourself. But Nebraska showed last night they can play with anyone. So
Correct.
that was a big game for them.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. And it'll be interesting just to see how they end up in March Madness, in my opinion, too. Are they going to be a high flyer where people are like, oh, just because they're ranked high, maybe they'll be a 2 seed, they'll be a 1 seed, maybe they'll be a 3 seed. Or are they going to be like a little lower just because of the competition in the Big Ten? Are they going to end up as like a 4 or 5 or a 6? It'll be interesting. There's a lot of time left. It's the time of year where everything starts to get interesting and college basketball becomes the best sport, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you win championships in February. That's been a Greg Campy quote for however long he's been coaching. So,
Shout out, Coach.
Yeah, this really is like you start to see. I think it was a little earlier. I think it's like the middle of January. You see who's for real, and I think Nebraska's still for real. I think they're going to be tough out in the tournament for anyone.
And they had one of their best players out. I mean, that was pretty insane too. You know,
the master class.
Oh man, but dude, that guy, he looks so goofy on the court, doesn't he?
Well, I mean, when it's your 7th year playing college basketball, when you're playing against kids, guys our age, I think you'll look a little goofy, but he's a good player. Good player. They missed him for sure.
Yeah, man. And I mean, Michigan, man, they're a good team. Let's not get that
Let's
wrong.
talk about Michigan now. Yeah.
Michigan's a good team. They are destined. They're one of the national championship favorites. I just saw a thing on college basketball on Fox Instagram. They're the number 2 favorite to win the championship still.
Yeah.
So they're definitely.
Arizona just passed them this past week with the.
Arizona did just pass them. They've been rolling. They got, I think, the 2 best freshmen in the country. But let's talk about Michigan. I mean, Michigan, their overpowered size is just what's really doing them well. And Elliot Cadeau's starting to become a more threat on the offensive side of the ball. He's been shooting the ball, I think, almost around 40% from 3. So that's drastic that's a drastic improvement for him when he was at North Carolina. So it's really coming together for them.
Yeah, I mean that first half you talk about Cadeau, they would have been buried, I think, in that first half if it wasn't for Cadeau, because he was orchestrating that offense like crazy.
Sure was.
And I was really impressed because the passes he was making, they weren't easy passes. They're difficult passes, and you don't know if those windows are open. So I think you have to credit him. He also had 8 turnovers, which is a little rough to 7 assists, but he was really, I thought he prevailed them. I already used the word prevail, but he kept them in the game in that first half, and they didn't get sunk. And then that second half, I mean, they just beat them. I mean, they just played better. They played to the Michigan caliber, and they closed out the half pretty good. And then, Nebraska couldn't really hang with the. And I kind of the Nebraska comeback and the way Nebraska and Rutgers played were very similar. They were both shooting like crazy, and they were just trying to outshoot Michigan State and Michigan, and it was working. For so long, it was working to where both teams basically almost lost. Let's not get past that. They almost lost. Michigan State almost lost to a bad team, and Michigan almost lost at home. So, I mean, Rutgers was shooting some crazy shots, and they were just going in. Yeah, and you have to give credit to Rutgers too. They shot really well from the line. Let's see. Let me check what Nebraska was shooting from the line.
Oh, I got to talk about this.
They shot 4 free throws.
I got to talk about this. Why in the hell, Michigan refs? This was interesting. The free throw comparison. Michigan, I believe, how many did they shoot, Gideon?
23.
Michigan shot 23 free throws, 19 of 23, and Nebraska was 3 of 4 from the line. What's going on there, refs? What's going on?
It was all Sanford too. He was 3 for 4.
I know. What's going on there? That's very interesting.
It's very interesting, Joe. Good.
It stirs the pot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does stir the pot. Yeah,
I don't know, man. But and to credit to another game, the Michigan State game, the refs were calling everything. They were like any ticky tack foul, like any little like like little bump on defense, they were calling it. It was stressful for me to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll check the free throws right now. Hold up.
I know State shot a lot of free throws.
Yeah,
Fears was at the line a ton.
16 for 17 for Jeremy Fears, and then
oh my God,
24 for 26 for Sparty, and then 19 for 23 for Rutgers.
See, now that's a game where early in the year State's losing because they struggled to make free throws all year. They've been struggling, but 24-26. Izzo's got to be happy about that.
For sure. I mean, that's probably why they're in the game, you know?
Yeah.
And everyone's giving the credit to Divine for making the shot, and yeah, that's a great shot. But who made that play? Jeremy Fears. The way he got downhill, passed it in the corner, that was one of the best plays I've seen him make, especially in the time of the game. You know, I mean, there's
correct.
40 seconds left?
Before we jump into this Michigan State Rutgers game, because we're done with Michigan, right? We got nothing else about Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, see you Friday.
All right, yeah, see you Friday. We'll jump into Michigan State, but here's a quick word from the Rochester Mills.
Quick time out to shout out our sponsor today, Rochester Mills Beer Company, holding it down in downtown Rochester. This is the kind of place to stop by after a big win, before the game on TV, or any time you're getting the crew together. Rochester Mills has been part of downtown Rochester for over 28 years, and it's been a staple spot for great food and even better vibes. Whether you're rolling in with family, meeting friends, or just looking for a great meal, Rochester Mills delivers. The food is top tier, the atmosphere is lively, and it's a place that feels right every time you're there. And in their craft beer, brewed right on site, and you've got everything you need for a perfect night out. So if you're looking for a place to eat, hang out, and catch up, make it Rochester Mills Beer Company. Check them out at beercost.com to see the menu, beers, and what's happening next. That is beercost.com. Thanks again to Rochester Mills for sponsoring this video. Now back to the show.
All right, yeah, I want to get back onto this Divine shot. I mean, Fears got down the court so fast, and the double screen was genius by Izzo. I mean, he was wide open in the corner, and Divine was probably our best shooter in that game, besides, I don't want to say Cohen Carr, but, like, the guy was 2 for 3. So, that shot...
The one contested one?
That where shot clock winded down late in the half, too, that was pretty insane. Yeah. I was like, I couldn't believe my eyes when that went in.
I mean, if he can get...
He laced it.
Yeah, if he can get he doesn't have to shoot like a crazy percent. Like, he doesn't have to shoot 38%. If he can shoot
like 31, 30?
He's an NBA player. I think he's an NBA player, honestly.
If he can do that and maybe rise up on a mid range off the dribble, yeah, 100%.
It's a process, you know. I think hopefully he stays another year, you know, but. Let's not talk about that. Let's just
so back on the game. I mean, besides Jeremy Fears and I guess you could say Divine, nobody really had an outstanding game. You know what I mean? But there were certain plays where it was like, holy, that was a great play. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and one of those plays I want to talk about is in the final minute. What Michigan State loves to do, obviously, is they love to kill the clock and they love to get to shot clock winding down. They like to get the shot when they're up. They're playing keep away, basically. When they did that, we shot a 3 and we missed. And Jordan Scott pulled out the rebound. It just came flying in, and the ball landed right in his hands perfectly. And that play, when that happened, I was like, the game's over. That killed them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he always has a big rebound in every single game, and it's on the offensive glass.
Right, place at the right time.
I mean, his nose for the ball is. It's unreal. Like, he's just always in the right spot, and yeah, you can practice that, but like, what do you think it is? Do you think it's awareness? Do you think it's?
I think it's just toughness, hustle, wanting to offensive rebound. I mean, Izzo's probably telling him to crash the glass. Maybe he's been good at it his whole career, and maybe Izzo likes him when he does it. He played so much in that second half.
He did.
He started in OT. Yeah, I'm gonna look this up.
It was him and Divine. They were trading like offense, defense a little bit, and then when Fears got the fourth, they did the.
They had to take him out, and there was a session where Fears wasn't in with the offense, but Jordan Scott played 26 minutes last night.
Wow.
That's unreal. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And you were also talking about, obviously Pierce played great, and, Devine was probably the second, quote unquote, second best player, but there were stretches, and you kind of talked about this earlier, there were stretches that everyone looked good. I thought that stretch that Carson Cooper had, I think it was like the middle of the second half where he caught like the lob.
Caught
or
a couple
whatever.
lobs.
Yeah, I thought, that's what makes this team dangerous, because, in March, they always say guards win in March, blah, blah, blah. But it's really Izzo. And I think if Jeremy Fears,
February, Izzo?
yeah. If Jeremy Fears can roll off those screens and continue to do that, because Jeremy Fears is going to get downhill. And you saw it a couple times on that game yesterday. I thought there was a sense in his, in his brain to get more downhill.
His veins. Yeah.
Yes. And he scored off it. And I want him doing that more, because that just opens so much for this offense.
I 100% agree. Yeah, I mean, there's a huge difference from the beginning of the year with Jeremy Fears and kind of after Christmas Jeremy Fears. I mean, It's a night and day difference. He's more back earlier, he was more looking for a foul, kind of throwing something up hoping for a foul, or always kicking it to the other guy. But now he's got a nose to score. You know, and he's been shooting the ball way better too from three and from the mid range. So I think this opens up a whole nother gear for the offensive side of the ball with Michigan State, and makes them more of a deadly team when it comes March too, because I mean, it kind of reminds me of just guys who can draw a foul in the late clock, like Cassius Winston, Keith Appling, Kalen Lucas,
Yeah. I mean, I 100% agree. I mean, it helps when you shoot 16 for 17 from the line too. You can really do whatever 100%. You want and be as aggressive.
He's a 90% free throw shooter. And since after Christmas, I would say at the beginning of the year, it was Kohler. Kohler was our main scorer. We're going to Kohler every single time.
I think he still
in a late
is,
clock
but
situation.
Yeah.
Really, you still would go to Kohler?
I think I would. He's had a couple off nights for sure, but I think he is kind of the focal point. I think he's kind of the safety net. There you go, the safety net.
That's a good way to put it. I would say now, though, with how Fears is playing, I think he's the go-to guy. When Izzo, there was the play before Devine made the three in the corner. Fears had a play where Izzo drew up a play where Izzo drew up a play where Fears could just get down to the rim and maybe get an and one. And man, he almost made that thing, but he got to the line, and that's what Izzo wanted. That was a great play call, and unfortunately, he didn't make the and one, but, I mean, we still won the game, so not really worried about her. But that's just the things I'm saying. Fears is the go-to guy in that situation.
Yeah. Well, I think, in the big games, I mean, you don't really see Jeremy Fears, he's kind of, I don't want to say struggled, but he doesn't score as much against, you saw against Duke. And hopefully he proves me wrong Friday, because I think he's the guy that can win for Michigan State Friday.
He's the X factor for Michigan State.
Yeah, and I think you look at everyone in the country, every team in the country, I think Michigan State might match up best against Michigan. If you put Michigan against, a team, because on the defensive end, and because you look at Cooper, you already know what you're gonna get on defense and the rebounding, and same with Kohler, and Cohen Carr can match, Yaxel. I imagine he'll be on Yaxel, and then it lines up. Man. They line up against him. So you want to jump into game Friday at all? Or
one more thing, just one more funny thing. What the hell, Kohler? Wearing 45 in the first half. What was that? And then his jersey just spawns in. I'm like, oh wait, he's got his jersey back on. He's wearing 0.
It was kind of tough.
Dude, I'm sitting with a couple of my buddies. We're watching the game, and I was like, I was the one who pointed it out. I was like, Kohler's got 0 back on. And one of my buddies just goes, all right, we're winning. It was just a funny point out there.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's jump to this game, man. I mean, like I said, I think it's game of the year. Here's Michigan State fans. This is what I'm going to say right away. What I believe is going to happen, their size in the first half is going to give us struggles to where one of our bigs, I believe, will have 2 fouls in the first 10 minutes. I'm just going to say it. One of our bigs will have 2 fouls, and that's going to have Cam Ward play a lot more, and I think Jesse McCulloch didn't play last night, and I think he plays against Michigan. I think he will get some minutes, probably 3 first half minutes, maybe 4, maybe 2, give or take, but that's what I think is going to happen. Their size is going to overpower us in the first half, and obviously we're going to make halftime adjustments.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the size. Obviously, they're bigger than us. But I don't know if there's. I'm going to sound really biased. I'm going to sound so biased. But they're not a Spartan dog. I know that's so bad. I know that's so bad. But
don't. I got something to say. Go.
Yeah,
go.
I think. You look at Michigan's starting lineup. There's one returner, right? Amari Burnett. You look at Michigan State's. They're all state guys, and I think they are gonna feel the rivalry. And
you're like taking all of the things I have about to say. Like, this is great. No, this is a great connection. This is great.
That's what I mean. I think, I really see Michigan State winning just because of the rivalry. But I do think Michigan will get them in Chrysler. I think they do split. I mean, that's just kind of how it works. But we're talking about Friday. I think they're gonna show you why this means so much to Michigan State, and I think it means more to Michigan State than it means to Michigan. And obviously, you got to tie in the new coach and all that. But Friday is that's the game where Michigan State puts themselves on maybe 1 seed notice in the tournament.
Yeah,
I really think they could.
Yes,
they could have an argument for the 1 seed. So, yeah, I mean, to wrap it all up, just they're gonna show why, they'll win because they know the rivalry.
I've got 4 points, and you could put one of these points under rivalry, but rivalry. This is why my 4 points why Michigan State is gonna win. Rivalry, culture, toughness, and what happened last year in Breslin. I think Michigan State is going to remember that. I think Tom Izzo's going to remember that. I mean, he respects the hell out of Michigan, Tom, but he does not like him one bit.
Yep.
I really do think these Michigan players don't understand what the rivalry is. And, I would say the Duke-North Carolina rivalry. Let's compare Elliot Cadeau here. That's more of, one of the great games, like an iconic game, it's just America pastime type of game. But how much toughness is there in that? Those ACC games are usually just a high-scoring shootout where it's like 80 to 82 or 90 to 92 or something like that. But in a game like this, the scoring is going to be like 70 points or lower a team. I'm telling you right now. It's just going to be a backyard battle between these two teams. And the culture aspect is where I see Michigan State just being, that culture is just showing more toughness. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Culture is a huge thing with Tom Izzo and Michigan State. And I think that plays a huge role. I really do. And I think Michigan State is one of the toughest teams in the country. I really do. They have some dogs on that team. And I think toughness is just... Here's one final thing as well. I don't think Michigan has played a team with the amount of toughness Michigan State has yet. So I think Michigan's also in for an awakening with that.
Yeah. I would probably say... Obviously, yeah. I mean, Michigan State is probably top of the top. When you talk about toughness, they're on the Mount Rushmore, But... they just play. Nebraska's pretty tough. They're tough. They have some tough guys.
For sure.
But yeah, I think you're right. They haven't seen a team that's as tough of them yet, and that's where I think Michigan State can kind of expose them. And you say, we'll see. We'll get a real judge of the game in the first couple minutes because that's if the refs are going to let stuff go. The physicality, then so be it. But if they call a little ticky-tack, keep the game under control, then that's going to play in a real factor for Michigan State, and that's how Michigan can maybe pull away early,
Right. Yeah, and back to Nebraska. If Michigan State just had the slimmest bit of offense against Nebraska, like just a tiny bit possible, they would have won. Simple. But they were in that game for so long because of the toughness and the defensive side. They had no offense whatsoever, and that's why they lost. And there's games like that where it could go either way. The toughness aspect, and the defensive aspect. Michigan State lost to Nebraska, but there was games like that where they beat Arkansas. So it could go either way when it comes to that toughness. But is Michigan State's offense going to show up is a big question for Michigan State.
Yeah, per KenPom, these are the two best offenses in the country. Michigan State is first, and then Michigan's second. So
offenses?
Defense.
I was about to say. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, like you said, could be under 70, and I really don't know what, each team would want. I'm sure Michigan would want to have the game more high scoring because I think that's how they could win. But it could go either way. Like Michigan State could want to have the high scoring with the running ability and the tiring you out in that second half. So
defend, rebound, run.
Right. So we'll see.
Yeah. I think another big aspect of this game and what it's going to mean is tempo and pace of play. Michigan State likes to slow it down a little bit more, and they like to play to their speed, or are they going to maybe get sped up with Michigan and their speed? I don't know. That's going to play a big factor, because when Michigan State gets sped up and it's a close game, they usually lose.
Yep.
I'm just going to say it. They usually lose. Like, the first game that comes into my mind when they were sped up, if you want an example, was Michigan State against Kansas State in the Sweet 16. High-scoring battle. Man, I thought we were going to pull it out. A.J. Hogard, Tyson Walker, they were having two incredible games. Akins, Hauser, that team. But we got sped up, and we were playing to their speed, and that's why they won.
Yeah. Well, another KenPom stat, Michigan's 12th in tempo. So, and then to Michigan State's 278th, or 278. So, it's a good key to the game.
Smokes.
The tempo. I mean, if they play that fast,
Wow. So don't think I'm an idiot when I'm talking about this tempo stuff, guys. I mean, it's literally on the papers. Come on. Look up on what's their offense ranks. I'm curious.
Michigan's 8, Michigan State's 42.
Okay. Not surprising there.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, predictions. I think Michigan State wins. I'm going to say it. I think
Really
Michigan
good.
State wins 71. Shut up. Really? I think Michigan State wins. I'm going to say 70. No, I'm going to say it's a little higher. I'm going to say 73-68. Michigan State wins.
Okay. I kind of said Michigan State was going to win earlier, so I'm going to stick to that. I'm going to say Michigan State 76, Michigan 74.
Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. It'll be interesting to see what the lines open up as and who's the favorite. I haven't looking. I haven't seen it yet. We'll see what the over-under is, too. I'm also curious on that, just to see if they think it's going to be a defensive battle or they think it's going to be high scoring. So, but yeah, I mean, I just don't see a way how Michigan State loses this game, man. I mean, with the culture, the toughness, and Michigan not playing anyone like that, I think Michigan State's just a higher notch up. And the tempo aspect, I think Michigan State's great at controlling those type of games, and I think Sparty gets it done here in Breslin on the 30th.
You know what I think helps is for Michigan State? I think the Duke game really helps this game because, I mean, obviously it's going to be on a Friday night, and the Duke game was on a Saturday, so it's a little different. It's noon to, what, is it 8:30 Friday? I think it's 8:30. Ooh. But, So
Arkansas was at, I believe, 7:30, something like that, 7 or 7:30.
yeah, I think it was. Yeah. So, but I think this helps in Michigan State's favor because they lost against Duke, and they wanted that one so bad because the building was filled and the energy was unbelievable, and it's Duke, everyone hates Duke, but the hate level for Michigan is, I think,
it's a different notch. I'm
So-
telling you.
that's why I think it helps in Michigan State's favor, and that's why I think they win.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I agree with Gideon. I believe Michigan and Michigan State will split. I think we'll get that down the road. But if I had to make an early prediction about the game in Chrysler, I think Michigan speeds them up a little bit,
Yeah,
and
could see
Michigan
that,
gets to the.
for sure.
I think Michigan gets to the 80s in scoring.
All right.
Yeah, man. Hey, well, whole episode there about Michigan and Michigan State. Biggest game of the year coming up on Friday. Hope you guys liked this episode. Thank you so much for watching. And, Gid, you got anything else?
I'm not going to say go green because it's a little biased, but
I'll say it. Go green. We'll see you guys. Peace.